Welcome to Daily Dose Radio, a 5-minute devotional podcast studying the Psalms verse by verse. Broadcast from the ever-beautiful Sharonville, Ohio, on the sunny side of Cincinnati. Welcome to Daily Dose Radio. This is your home for the finest Bible bistro on the internet. 5 minutes a day, that's all we ask. Come on in, folks. We're going to be looking at Psalm 114, verses 3 and 4 today. I hope you'll take just a moment, 5 minutes is all, and open your Bibles with me. So today we're looking at verses 3 and 4. Yesterday we talked about the person that's not talked about here. He's mentioned in the pronoun, his sanctuary, his dominion in verse 2. And we noticed that yesterday that he's not mentioned, but it doesn't really have to be mentioned because as soon as you say, when Israel went out of Egypt, what do you think of? You think of Exodus. And when you think of Exodus, what do you think of? You think of God's hand moving mightily upon the Egyptian nation so that they would release the Jews from their captivity. God's people were in bondage. He came in and delivered them from a people of a strange language. So even though his name is not mentioned yet, we know who we're talking about here. Now, verses 3 and 4, we have creation stepping forward, and they are going to witness something. Now, let me read 3 and 4. The sea saw it and fled. Jordan was driven back. The mountains skipped like rams, and the little hills like lambs. So what did they see? They saw the deliverance of the children of Israel from Egypt. They saw God in his sanctuary, and Israel as his dominion. So the Lord as the great king over this chosen group of people that he has now delivered out of the Egyptian captivity. So that's what the sea saw. It saw the Lord delivering his people. And what did it do? It fled. Okay, well, this is a reference. We've had lots of times in the book of Psalms, we've had this reference to the drying up of the Red Sea. The waters were rolled back, the floor of the sea was dried, and the people went across on dry ground. So that imagery is used again here, that the sea saw what happened and fled from the presence of the Lord because he is the great king. And they see that and they testify by their action, the sea does, by its action, that God is great. Isn't it interesting here that we have the sea mentioned? Oh, and then the Jordan was driven back. So the Jordan is driven back. And when did that happen? That happened when the children of Israel crossed over the Jordan River. The priests marched into that with the ark, and the waters rolled way up north and were staunched, and the land was dry, the ground was dry, and the children of Israel just passed right over that just like it was nothing. Not even like it was a stream bed. It was almost like it was a highway. And they just marched right across. Why did the Jordan dry, or why was it driven back? And the Hebrew there means it's to be rolled back. So the Jordan waters rolled backwards. That's just against nature. But why did that happen? Because of the greatness of the God whose dominion was Israel. And so when the Jordan River saw him coming, well, it rolled back. The mountains skipped like rams, and the little hills like lambs. What is it doing? They're rejoicing because as they traveled through that mountainous wilderness, those mountains and those hills are skipping with joy because of the presence of the God of Jacob. So his very presence in that is emphasized here by creation. And again, I just ask the question, why is it creation that's given this opportunity? Why are no people given this opportunity? And yet today, why aren't people rejoicing over the idea that God did deliver his people? And if he did it for Israel, his chosen people, he'll do it for the church, his chosen people. He will deliver us too from a people of a strange language. And the sea will see it, and the Jordan will see it, and the mountains will see it, and the little hills will see it, and they'll skip around just like lambs and rams do when they're excited. I hope you'll join me tomorrow as we look at a question that the psalmist has for creation. Join me then on Daily Dose Radio. Thanks for listening to Daily Dose Radio. I'm David Smith. The music today has been performed by the Bluegrass Experiment. Thanks again for listening. I'll see you next time on Daily Dose Radio.